What is he complaining about? Cried Hippolyte, baring his teeth. So you did nothing? Nina Alexandrovna suddenly observed. You especially should be ashamed and to torment an old man so inhumanly, and that in your position. First of all, what is this position of mine, madam? I respect you very much, precisely you, personally, but... He's a screw. The general shouted. He bores into my soul and heart. He wants me to believe in atheism. No, milksop, that you weren't even born yet when I was already showered with honors, and you are merely an envious worm, torn in two, coughing, and dying of spite and unbelief. And why did Gavrila bring you here? Everybody's against me, from strangers to my own son. Enough, you're starting a tragedy, cried Ganya. It would be better if you didn't go disgracing us all over town. How have I disgraced you, milksop? You? I can only bring you honor, and not dishonor. He jumped up and they could no longer restrain him, but Gavrila Ardalionovich, too, had obviously broken loose. Look who's talking about honor! He cried spitefully. What did you say? The general thundered, turning pale and taking a step towards him. I need only open my mouth in order to, Ganya screamed suddenly and did not finish. The two stood facing each other, shaken beyond measure, especially Ganya. Ganya, how can you? Cried Nina Alexandrovna, rushing to stop her son. What nonsense all around! Varya snapped indignantly. Enough, mother, she seized her. I spare you only for mother's sake, Ganya said tragically. Speak! The general bellowed, totally beside himself. Speak for fear of a father's curse, speak! As if I'm afraid of your curse. Whose fault is it if you've been like a crazy man for the past 8 days? 8 days, you see, I know it by the dates. Watch out, don't drive me to the limit, I'll tell everything. Why did you drag yourself to the Apanchins yesterday? Calling yourself an old man, gray-haired, the father of a family. A fine one? Shut up, Ganka! Cried Kolya. Shut up, you fool! But how have I insulted him? Hippolyte insisted, in what seemed like the same mocking tone. Why does he call me a screw? Did you hear? He pesters me himself. Just now he came and started talking about some Captain Aropegov. I have no wish for your company, General. I avoided you before, you know that. I have nothing to do with Captain Aropegov, don't you agree? I did not move here for the sake of Captain Aropegov. I merely voiced my opinion that this Captain Aropegov may never have existed at all. And he started kicking up dust. He undoubtedly never existed. Snapped Ganya. But the general stood as if stunned and only looked around senselessly. His son's phrase struck him by its extreme frankness. For the first moment he was even at a loss for words. And at last, only when Hippolyte burst out laughing at Ganya's reply and shouted. Well, do you hear? Your own son also says there was no Captain Aropegov, did the old man babble, completely confounded. Kapitan Aropegov, not Captain, Kapitan a retired Lieutenant Colonel, Aropegov, Kapitan. There was no Kapitan either. Ganya was now thoroughly angry. Why wasn't there? Mumbled the general, and color rose to his face. Well, enough. Tin and Varya tried to pacify him. Shut up, Ganka. Kolya cried again. But the intercession seemed to have brought the general to his senses. How wasn't there? Why didn't he exist? He menacingly turned on his son. There just wasn't. There wasn't, that's all, and there simply cannot be. So there. Leave me alone, I tell you. And this is my son, my own son, whom oh, God. Aropegov, Iroshka Aropegov never lived. Well, so, now it's Iroshka, now it's Kapitashka. Hippolyte put in. Kapitashka, sir, Kapitashka, not Iroshka. Kapitan, Captain Alexeyevich, that is, Kapitan a lieutenant colonel, retired, married to Marya Petrovna Su a friend and comrade, Suchagov, even as a junker. 6 For him I shielded him, killed. No Kapitashka Aropegov. Never existed.